Well, I think it's going to be like, okay, it's live.
I know.
Right?
Yeah,
So it's so
it's just
okay.
YouTube also.
How do we do this? Yeah, we should introduce ourselves, right?
Right. We can introduce ourselves and go to first, gentlemen first.
Alex, you want to talk? Like, who are you?
Hey, my name is Alex Gervinant. I work for CP Group. I am stationed in Hong Kong. I'm going to reveal a lot more later on what I do because I'm not good at giving monologues. But so basically, to give you a quick background, I was an architect, and but then somehow I decided to hop off and join the evil side and became a corporate. And but anyways, jokes aside, I mean, I think it's really interesting because as an architect, I get to see how buildings and the physical world gets put together, whereas we're now working on the finance side and the investment side, you get to see all the invisible forces that kind of put everything together. And when you get to see the building itself, it's already towards the end of the progress. About 99% of the work is in the background. So that's very exciting for me. So anyways, before I babble off, I'll just give you guys
Yeah,
the
so my name
platform.
is Marco. I work with Alex in Hong Kong. I had an opportunity to meet with May, and because we were working on some projects together. Uh, CP is a Thai company with a very strong Thai connections, and May it's usually it's in Thailand, but today she's in Japan, right?
Yes, I'm in
Um,
Tokyo.
yeah, and May convinced me, and I convinced Alex to join and try to do this uh, talk and see how we can spread our thinking, our thinking about investment, our thinking about the world. Yeah,
Mhm.
basically a lot of nonsense that we are trying to
Yeah, we're
promote.
just kind of feeling things through. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just kind of learning as it goes. So, it's good to just learn from the two of you and learn from Phil, and hope I don't make any catastrophic uh, catastrophic mistakes. So,
Yep. Yep.
Okay. And my name is Nay. My background is engineer by training, and I haven't done much of an engineering, though I'm a
what
nerd.
I'm sorry. What engineering? What
Mechanical engineering,
Oh,
automatic control.
mechanical.
Yeah,
So you do air conditioning and stuff like that.
yeah, I supposed to be able to do that, but I study more on the robot side. So,
Oh, okay.
but I
Because I was
learned.
an architect, so that's anyway. Go ahead. Sorry.
But yes, I can change tires, and I can basically fix a bit of aircon. So with a proper manual, and I'm in crypto space. I do advisory projects, and I work involved with a lot of crypto projects. And like I said, I'm a nerd, and I like to read, so I have a lot to talk about. And well, I convinced Marco, as he mentioned before, because I think what everybody can put in, it's going to be interesting. And so we here, and I just want to do something different. So there am I.
Yeah. May, are you do you work for yourself? Are you your own boss, or do you work for an organization, or your partner in a team? How's your setup like?
Well, I can do personal advisory if you if you ask me to, but I have a structure. I have a company, and it's going to be a joint venture between me and well, your relative Chachawan Juranon. And yes, I do have my own structure and my own company, but I can do something aside too. But more or less, I'm involved in technology and crypto space.
Okay. What makes you so interested in technology to begin with? I mean, besides being a nerd, of course.
Well, I think, well, I started off becoming an engineer, and then I always involved in the technology like since the beginning. And I think it's more or less like a fate. My comedy is like this. My friends always in the technological world. Some hardcore, some not too hardcore, but everybody is like very articulate in the techno world. So I'm here, and I invested in ICO in 2017, which is like you can make 100 times, 100 like or 200 times over a month. Means that you put like $100 and it will come $10,000 over a month, which is like a spectacular thing. So I'm so involved in the crypto space, and then everything crashed and everything dropped by 99%. So except Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is dropped like by 80%. Oh, even worse. And but a lot of coins that I held went down, but majority, thank God, it's Bitcoin. So I have something in return. But this space, the technology worlds and crypto space, is still very interesting. And I used to work in the bank, so I kind of interested in how money works, and technology and crypto like answer both of the worlds.
Okay, but so you right now your whole strategy is pretty much you hold on to what you have, or did you kind of offload it?
Well, this is what I tell people. When you invest in something, you have to know why you're doing that. So this portion of the money is for long-term investment. This portion of the money is like to hold. This portion is to speculate. So I do have both right now. Given the market condition, I don't speculate anymore. I'm off speculations, but there are some bitcoins that I hold. So I held since long ago. So I feel like I can hold like very very long time, and but I also do have hedging strategies, which trying to protect my portfolio, so that it won't. So I have short. Basically, I short a little bit, less than long, but I short a little bit to make sure that my portfolio doing okay during this bear market. Because looking forward, there are lots of things about to happen, even in the real sector or crypto sector. So what do you think, Marco? What do you think about how the world's doing?
Yeah, it's interesting you talk about shorting. Alex and I, we were just discussing with the team about like shorting, and it's not something that we are accustomed to do. But I think it's something also it's something necessary to look at. To my point of view, of course, Alex has a different point of view on this, but I believe that the world is going into a stagnation for a foreseeable time, and I don't think we're going to get out from this until at least 2024. That's my view. Uh, yeah, so I think it's the right time to go into some short position in whether in the short stock market or in your case is crypto or blockchain related market. Um, because we can't just sit here and do nothing, right? I mean, we know it's bad, and we have positions that we want to hold on to, but also we trying to not get into new position of any new investment. But we can't just sit around and do nothing. So I just thought that it's something that we should pay attention to.
Wow.
So yeah, we think alike. It's good.
So you have investors. I believe you have like connection with investors, and you are managing investing yourself. So I can feel that you're a bit pessimistic about looking forward in the future. So I'm asking both of you, apart from short, what do you tell your friends, your investors, or even yourself? What to do during these times?
Yeah, I would say first, maybe Alex can tell his view. So I think that right now there are really two things, and one of which is something May convinced me to do, is to do video like this, because it's time to kind of have people. We attract some smart people to come in and hopefully they would give us some ideas and advice on what else we can look at, how else can we prepare ourselves at this time. Obviously, we're not busy investing. And then also, I just talked about, like, I think shorting the market is something that we look very closely into right now at this point.
Okay.
So two things.
I am. Let's just put it this way: when Marco approached me about starting this channel, I pretty much says that I'm going to play not the fool, but the person, the simpleton who would ask you guys questions, because I guess maybe I'm just my age or just my personality. I'm a lot more of a builder. As I said, I was an architect. And I've always approached investments from a very pure point of view that, okay, you have this company, you want to invest in it, and you want to become a part of the success and also contribute to it, and then you reap the rewards from it. For me, the stock market, although I've briefly managed some stock portfolio for my family members, but it's purely just a casino to me. It's basically places where you have some extra cash, you want to earn some side change, and that's about it. Because I've no illusions of striking it rich over there, because it's just up and down, and it's just right, especially right now. And everybody knows it's not a well-kept secret that there's always invisible forces around that kind of manipulates these markets. So I'm just along for a ride and hope I come out with my pants on. So for me, shorting is I think is a very interesting concept. But for me, and this is not the criticism to anybody else who likes to short, but I think is when you come to shorting, it will just become a purely casino play. It's just purely gambling. And for me also as an architect, it's almost like I'm betting on the destruction of some buildings. Like that building's gonna bomb, it's gonna fall apart, But I do understand that like right now the market's not good, and sometimes by hedging it, is actually quite interesting to study. And this is something that I also pay attention to. And maybe my view will change in, next time. But I think for now, I just like remain put, just sit back and observe. And yeah, like, right now, I'm basically, in stock market, I'm just basically trying to exit the ones that are not losing positions. Actually, if I make a little bit, I exit and just have some cash ready. And then in some cases, I'll pick up something when it's cheap and just kind of ride the wave and just, buy low, sell high. And that's the way I kind of dealt with it. And I'm doing okay with it, So.
Okay.
But I think stock market, I think I agree with Alex on this. I think stock market it's like a hobby that you have to have, right? When you do investment. We focus mainly on private equity companies that are, still private and has a high potential. That's what we do mainly. But we still have to. We still pay a very close attention to the stock market, because the stock market will affect everything of the world.
Yeah.
So I think having a little bit of money kind of invest into the stock market in various places, or it's actually a good thing to me. Yeah.
And this is actually a fun aside, right? I used to be very addicted to playing video games. Like I used to spend hours playing video games, and it's come to the point when it becomes unhealthy. It's counterproductive. And I said to myself, what if somebody could make a video game like the stock market? And since stock market, video games is just basically a game, right? You kind of learn the rules of it. You learn how to exploit things to maximize it, and then you come out, getting better and better. What if someone could turn stock market into a game? And then later on, I'm like, well, what else? I just do stock market. So that's how I kind of got into it too. I just quit it all together and just start investing a little bit. And as Marco says, it's a hobby that you must have when you do investing in other things, because you kind of, it forces you to stay in too. So.
Okay. Actually, this is like very interesting topic, because actually I have something prepared. I want to talk about why I'm coming to Tokyo, but or Okinawa last week. But I want to answer to what you just said before, because I think this is very interesting. Like shorting, like Alexei, I think shorting takes a different mindset and takes super different skill, and I don't recommend anybody to short until they know what they're doing. And that's shorting is a super risky business. In crypto, shorting is super dangerous. I saw one coin that I know that it's going down, and so I suggest everybody to sell because it doesn't look good. And then one of my friend decided to short this coin instead of sell, and the coin went up really high, liquidated her port, and then shot down like this.
Oh,
So the thing is, it's about leveraging. It's about knowing your money, knowing your game, knowing your it's asset allocation, and it's how you allocate money. It's money allocation. When you're good at investment, it's not about the technicality. I don't believe so. I believe in money management, and if you manage your money right, even though you have the stupidest scheme in the world, if you have like the most inaccurate technical signals in the world, if you manage your portions right, you still can win the game. And I think the key is not to get it right 100%, because that's not going to be it. But it's the way you manage what you have, so that you last the longest in the game. And that's why I short and I sell like teeny bit at a time, like 2%, 5%, 1% at a time. So I keep selling and buying, so I know that I have like 100 opportunities to go, long and short.
I see.
So I can make
And
mistakes.
it's super hard for crypto because, I mean, in the stock market, we just do one, Monday to Friday, was like 9:30 to 4:30, and you guys are 24/7.
Oh, I don't do it. I use a robot. I am not going to do that for sure. So,
Marco and I were talking. Oh, go ahead.
sorry. It's like it's impossible. It's inhuman to do that 24/7. I'm not 7-Eleven. CP jokes aside.
Fire chicken, pork. Come on.
So yeah. I mean, it's okay to do that in the stock market if you look at like you rebalance, buy and sell every 5% or every, but that's gonna take. So you have time frame to do it. Maybe you can do it once a week or twice a month, if you look at 5% more or less. But crypto, there's no, you can do it at any percent at any time of the year, just like 24/7. So you need a bot. You need a lot of help.
And how is your mentality in terms of FOMO and learning how to, right? Like when you sell something, you thought it's like, okay, it's going to reach that high, I'm going to sell it, and all of a sudden you sell it, and the next thing you know, it goes higher and higher. You're like, oh, I should have just kept it. How do you deal with that mentality? Because I mean, over the years, actually my mom's a very smart investor. I actually learned a lot from her, and she used to just tell me like, hey, you know what? As long as you come out positive, just don't worry about it. Like what's your mentality when you have FOMO? Because you're talking about how crypto could go up and down, and you would never know when the knife is at the bottom or when it's at the peak, right? So how do you actually manage and deal with that?
Well, your mom was spot on. Like if you come out positive, you should be happy. But that's like that's a logical sense of it. But people get into the market with a lot of feelings. I want to get rich. Like why the boy next door get Lambo? He's only 17 and he can afford a Lambo. And like there are lots of feelings into it. You saw especially when you have social media, you have a lot of people getting rich real quick, real fast. And so you feel some eagerness to have the same thing. So it's a lot of feelings into it, and one thing that I could not mention is if you sell, like if you make a little bit of profit, but the thing went up 1,000 times, you'll feel stupid. I mean, actually, it's not stupidity. It's not stupidity. You can't know. You can't know. And so it's not stupidity, but you feel bad about yourself. And then you want a revenge on the market. and so you treat so you treat the market like a bad boyfriend. And you're gonna start a real bad toxic relationship with the market. And that's how people fall, and that's how I felt. Fortunately, I started crypto super early, so I made some money. So from 1 million it went up to 10 million, and from 10 million it went down to 2 million. So I lost a big chunk of my profit. Fortunately, I'm still okay. But if people went there, like, jumped in at its peak, I think they're gonna hurt very much. And to me, even though I didn't lose any principal, I lost some profit. It felt like heartbroken. So I think the first time that I ever had that much money and the first time that I ever lost that much money is a quarter apart. So so I think it's quite threatening mentality. I think so. I start to develop a personal relationship with my money, and I think I take a psychological route per se to define a relationship, to understand, to be grateful. That I think that's the word. Be grateful of what I have, to be thankful of what I have, and then stop looking at Facebook. I think
Yeah, that's a good trick.
But I mean, if you go ahead, please finish.
so. Okay, I'm done.
And do you, aside from crypto and stock markets, do you invest in any other more solid assets like properties, or trying to generate passive income, or how do you manage that part, or for you is all?
I do have properties, a little one, but I do have properties for rent. So I try to diversify. I try to buy commodities, precious metals. I tried, but I find that crypto. Okay, the two things. Personally, I try to invest in the various kinds of things, but educational wise, I love crypto. Crypto gives you, if you want to learn about investment and you don't have a lot of money, say $1,000, for a general public, crypto is the best tool for you to learn, because the cycle's so fast, the boom bust cycle super fast, the volatility is there. You can learn anytime you like. You have all the financial tools that you have short, you have long, you have option, but that's quite expensive. But if you have like $100,000, you can do that. But in the real sector, if you have $100,000, you might not be able to exercise options. And so you have future, you have option, you can do short, you can do long, there's like perpetual contract, you can do a lot of things with $1,000. And it will give you good idea of how the tools work.
Yeah.
And that's why I emphasize people start with a little bit of money, but please jump into crypto world. It's not only the trading side, but the product side, which is amazing. That's why I come to this. I went to Okinawa a few days ago, and there's a conference called IVS Crypto. And normally in the conference, people say, "Oh, when moon, buy Lambo, keep holding on, hold." So those words you hear on the boom cycle, which lasts like a decade from stock market to crypto, and now we're looking at recession, and the crowd super good. I love the crowd that went to IVS. But it's a bear market. Everybody acknowledges a bear market, things go slow. And then people start to wonder why they're joining the event. Nobody's shopping anything anymore. But last year, people talk about pricing. You hear how much Netflix is going to be, how much Tesla is going to be, how much Bitcoin is going to be, how much Ethereum is going to be, how much assets going to be. People talk about pricing. And then they say, oh, a stock PE is 1,000. 1,000 times, which it's going to take 1,000 years to return. And people still buy Tesla and felt like, hey, I'm gonna miss the boat. So last year or the year before, everybody talks about pricing, pricing, pricing. But today people talk about valuation. How much Tesla really worth? How much Twitter's really worth? How much does it worth like Bitcoin or other coins? And that this is a time where people build. I went to IVS conference and I hear a lot of people build and build and build. And then stop talking about how much the coin's going to go, but say, this is a value. I'm going to keep this technology intact. I'm going to build a community. I'm going to build some values, because if we have values, then people will jump in and buy in. And this is a time where a lot of VC buy equities in companies. This is a shopping time, people. So people went out. It might take years, but rich people can wait. So I see a lot of institutions that start to buy these companies. Before, in the boom market, in the bullish market, everything is expensive. Developers are expensive. You buy companies very expensive. CEOs are expensive. Right now, everything's cheap. Everything is cheap. Like developers are cheap, and companies, like, they're trying to make money. They're trying to survive. You see a lot of good products trying to survive. And I think if you have enough money, it's going to be heaven. You're going to go ecstasy. So I think this is the time that you look around. Unfortunately, I'm not a deep pocket or a VC, but I've talked to a few, and I think they've been looking around. But same as every startup investment, you invest in a newly established company. So there's risk into that, but you will see that this shakedown of the market.
That sounds very interesting. Yeah, extremely interesting. I think because I think it sounds like how we look at non-crypto companies, right? We look at the company management. We look at their roadmap. They need to show some sign of achievement. They need to show us that they have ability to move into whatever visions that the management or the leadership has. Yeah, I mean, it sounds very much like the crypto world. It's turning into more like something we can kind of look into. Yeah.
I'm sure you can definitely look into that. I think you will find deals that you can have certain equities plus coins. So you don't only hold the coins, but you have a say in a company. So I think the deal flow is going to be much better now than before. And the same rules as investing in startup, you have to look at 20 companies and you have to invest in more than one company. And some will succeed beautifully and some might be not.
Anything that comes into your mind, like, can you give us an example without like disclosing the name of the company, like any specific company that you've seen that is very exciting?
Well, specific company, I don't know if they're okay. I don't know how much they want to raise money or they want to talk, but I saw this company in LA, I believe. It's called Wave Financial, and I think it's quite interesting.
Okay.
So it invests in crypto. I mean, this thing is all about crypto. So they invest in crypto, and but I don't know if he's raising fund. I saw him on the panel. I'm not going there to shop. So I'm there to do certain networkings, and so I don't know how much he wants to raise or he wants to sell his product. But the company is worth looking. Actually, I can give you a list if you want to.
But what's so exciting about this wave management, is that called?
Well, like you said, when you look at the company, it's not only the products, but it's how people manage it. It's how people look at the market, look at the products, and care for the customers, the management team. And And the product's very interesting. They invest in a lot of types of crypto, or even tokenize it. They tokenize alcohol, so like rare spirits, and they tokenize it. And
Can they talk
so
about the hangover?
so so they have like strategic coins. They're trying to invest in equity. So the range of investments. But what interesting, this is a lot of people there in IVS crypto. They come from like good point of view when it comes to management. And I think this is more important than the product itself. When you look in the crypto world, you will see a lot of similar products. Truly, like you might not be able to differentiate one product to the next. You will see a basket of things, but so it's not that intriguing. I mean, yeah, there are lots of interesting product, but one company is not super exciting compared to the same similar group. So I think we're looking at how people relate to the product, how the management relate to the products and relate to the customers and the views of the market. I mean, if somebody said I'm bullish still, I'm not gonna go near the product because that's like super scary. But I think it's the view. It's a people. Though a lot of people say don't be attached to people, but still, management team is a key factor right now.
Yeah.
And
It's all this. I mean, the world is basically an engine of people. I mean,
Sure.
the more working in the professional world, the more I realize that, with the right team, you could do anything. With the wrong team, you could give them the most resources, you could give them everything, and they still find a way to mess it up.
Yeah, I can give you an example. That's something that I think Alex and I should take pride of, right? Like yesterday, we were having dinner with some friend, and we talked about this company that was really extremely hot in the end of last year. It went IPO. The stock price went up 3 times in the first like 2 days. Right?
wow.
We actually made a conscious decision not to invest into this company, right? And then our investors and his cousin came to me. Was like, "What are you guys doing? This company went up 3 times." However, they don't remember the fact that when you subscribe to IPO, you have a 6 months lockup, right? And when the company locked up period was over, which is June 30th, the stock price dropped 40%. It was lower than the IPO price.
Yeah.
But a lot of time people don't remember these things. But we as sort of investment manager, it's a lot about what company we decide to invest, but also there is a lot riding on what we don't invest, right?
Yeah.
So we were assessing the situation. We think the market is it's overpriced. Everything is overpriced. Unless the company that let us go into the IPO gave us some leverage, so to speak. Otherwise, it's not worth doing. The risk is too high for 6 months ahead of time. So yeah, I think management is key even for investment. Yeah, we take a lot of pride into doing this kind of stuff.
Wow. All right. I think we used up quite a bit of time, and I think But anyway, before we end this session, this is what I always want to do. I always want to have people in my YouTube channel, and I will ask for recommendations for the audience to do or to experience in this week. And it can be cooking school or books or Netflix or even market or investing tips. But I think it's cute, and I just always want to do this. So before we end this, can we do some recommendations from every one of us?
For just general thing about
General things, because I have recommendations.
and yours first.
Okay. There's a YouTube there's a podcast that I've been listening. It's called How to Start Over. And I think it's very interesting, and especially I'm looking at this now. It's called "How to Build a Happy Life: How to Live When You're in Pain." And and it says something about actually pain is a part of happiness. Happiness is not an absence of pain, but happiness consists of enjoyment and purpose, so
Yeah.
and satisfaction. And purpose, to get there, you might have to go through pain. And well, the podcast really interesting, and I think this podcast, How to Start Over, I want to recommend to the audience. I think it's very interesting. It's not very investing. Well, you can apply this with investing, but
Yeah, I mean, so this is you're into self-help type of self-help books and podcasts, right?
yes. Well, I'm into a lot of things. Once you get to know me, I'm into a lot
You're a
of
nerd.
things. Yeah. So
Yeah, go ahead.
so anyway, this is my pick. But if you haven't prepared anything, you can bring your pick other days, or you can talk about your Star Wars figures.
Yeah, I wouldn't plug my channel right now. People are going to. Yeah, maybe another day. But yeah, I think the whole self-help movement is actually pretty good. I mean, I recently, a couple of years ago, got into it too. And part of my, if I have any recommendation, I mean, it sounds so trite, but I exercise a lot. Daily.
Wow.
And I think it's a lot of people. It's just about making time. A lot of people say, "Oh, I don't have time. This, that." If I have a meeting that will conflict with my gym schedule, I'll move it, and I'll make sure I put in my hour a day.
Wow.
And,
What?
and yeah, and then like it's and then afterwards you just get used to it, and it just becomes a lifestyle. But a lot of people just don't realize that you're sitting there after you graduate college, you don't move your butt for like a long time, and then humans are not made like that. And then once you start exercising, a lot of your little maladies that you've discovered just completely go away. So if there's any recommendation, I know like Marco jogs like a lot too.
Wow.
Like I mean, yeah, I work out almost obsessively. So it's, yeah.
Wow. What do you do?
I do mainly. Well, I mean, I like boxing. I love boxing a lot, but that's
Wow.
just, I'm not super good at it. I'm just a weekend warrior. But during the week, I just usually do weightlifting and then boxing in the weekends. So yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Alex is super fit. I've seen him gathering with a Chinese military guy. And
Wow.
they had a few drinks, and they decided to do push-up, which is
Oh, wow.
and that military guys is actually super fit too, and Alex just out push-up him
no,
a
no, no.
lot.
Actually, I did.
He
I'm not
was pretty
supposed to.
embarrassed. He was like, Alex, you're not trained like me. You can't do push-up like me. But
No.
Wow. Wow. Anyway, I exercise regularly, like once a month. So,
no, what's
but
about this? It's better than don't exercise.
then 0 month. Yes. Yeah. I did.
No, go ahead, please.
Sorry, I just said I did some acrobats, but
Oh,
but
really?
like it's
Aerial yoga? Or?
aerial yoga. I somehow I'm obsessed with being upside down. I just love the feeling of being upside down and spinning. So I don't know. It's my childhood trauma probably, but I love it. So
Actually, I talked about aerial yoga about 2005, I think. That was a long time ago. At that time, I was living in New York, and my then girlfriend was an artist. She did a brilliant installation and then decided to hang up this cloth on the ceiling, almost like the way your aerial yoga would do. So when they're installing it, I said to the handyman, the guy who's in charge of my gallery, I'm like, look, like don't just stick a nail to it. Like actually have like a pivot and rotation on it, because later on there's going to be an artist that's going to come perform. And he didn't listen. And then
wow.
my then girlfriend goes, oh no, he knows what he's doing. And then Next thing you know, like the artist came in practice, was doing something really beautiful, and I was like,
Oh,
and from what I heard, like I think she hurt herself so badly she couldn't do the same thing ever again. So, yeah.
oh my gosh.
Anyways, I'm sorry, like something really negative.
Wow.
Yeah, be careful. Be careful where you hang upside down from. That's all. I'm saying.
I didn't do it at home. I always do it in a gym and always check the structure. And I'm an engineer, so I know a thing or two about structures.
But you guys are both robotics, right?
Yeah, I did my share of robotics. I did my master in robotics, and I went to the Silicon Valley in 2000 to do software engineering because that's what it pays. That's what pays, and yeah, I didn't continue my robotics career. Yeah,
Well,
but
I didn't know you're
yeah.
I didn't know you're a software engineer. You never told me that.
I didn't. I don't pride myself for that at this point because I went there in 2000. It was a really good time, right? Software companies are up and it's everywhere, and I didn't finish my graduate school at that time. I went to I went to work in Silicon Valley because it pays really well, and then 1 year later I went back to school to finish my thesis, and so that was it. That was it from all my robotics career.
Wow. Wow, interesting, interesting.
I
Well,
had
I
to do
think
punch card back then. I don't know if
punch cards. My mom told me about punch cards.
okay. I do C programming, and then I had to every time I
C
decoded
programming.
something, and then
We still use C programming every now and then around this area, but rarely. Yeah. So
my
well,
son is learning Python, and he has no idea what I did with programming. It's so much easier nowadays.
yeah, it's more like human language than C or Pascal. I did Pascal. So
Oh, okay.
so yeah. So interesting. So any last words, Marco, before we end the show?
No, for relaxing, I watch a lot of sports. That's it. I'm a big American football and basketball fan.
Wow. Wow, interesting show.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
All right. Well, we hopefully we'll try it next time.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. Talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye bye.